Well, TwoSun Tuesdays coming at you all sorts of again, and it's right around the corner from Halloween, which is when this is being recorded. That's why my nails are a bit spooky scary. So yeah, just go ahead and dismiss that because it's usually not my audaciousness or whatnot that I'll end up doing orange and black and shit. But hey, here we are. So, anyway, today we have yet another Jelly Jerry design, and this one is called the Nautilus. It's also the TS220. This one is an M390. However, I haven't seen but have heard that this was originally in 14C28N. The only variants I've seen is in M390, though. That's perfectly fine. The name Nautilus is a little strange to me because this doesn't really invoke any feelings of a spiral-like shellfish kind of thing with a whole bunch of tentacles. It is a good EDC knife and design and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, not quite sure where the where that name came from. But hey, at least it has a name, and that makes it a little bit more memorable than I don't know, the 185 or the 273 or whatnot that a lot of these things end up having. So, flipper tab. Go ahead and deploy that and kerchunk. And we can see we have, well, I mean, it's an aggressively drop point, maybe almost modified Warncliffe kind of thing there with a little harpoon kind of thing going on there. It's actually super comfortable for you to rest your whole thumb in there, even a gigantic one such as this. And this, to me, at least in a normal, relaxed grip, is about 3.5 fingers. It's still comfortable, but a lot of times I do end up want to switch over to a pinch grip or something like that, or a gorilla grip if I do want to get all 4 fingers on there. So this one, to me, I had mentioned before, and I think I even did a video on that, where it does kind of remind me a bit of the TwoSun TS66. This is a G10 variant because I don't own an integral titanium version of it at this point in time. They both have that fuller sort of thing, a bit more in common with the blade profile on the cutting portion, not fairly similar on the top as well. This one's just a little bit more acute and small. But figured I would mention that to y'all. This is full titanium. And this one is a little bit different in that it does have this piece here that they don't generally do on a whole lot of their folders. This one is in, yeah, I had mentioned M390. The M390 on this one does okay. It's nothing super spectacular, but hey, it still holds an edge a decent dang time, and all sorts of stainless and stuff like that. So it's not going to be, a performance leader in the particular heat treat that this one has got, but it certainly does the job. So, no real complaints there. Yeah, for people with a little bit more normal-sized hands, this is probably going to be a full-size grip for you. As I said, I got like 3.5 fingers on this, but it's still comfortable to do that. However, the flipper tab does curve back in on itself just a little bit. So if I'm really trying to choke up there, it'll actually dig into me, as you can see there, a little bit. So yeah, that's generally what makes me want to have more of a relaxed saber grip to it. But all that being said, that's because, I have like somewhere around a 4-inch kind of length on my palm there. So, if you're a little bit different, a little bit smaller, then, this thing will work perfectly fine for you. It's also got a fuller, so you can super easily spidey flick the thing out And as long as you pay attention to where your hand is there, you should be able to roll that out with a thumb, but probably not going to happen. And a little bit of that is the pocket clip does make a little bit of contact on there. Not much, but enough to kind of stifle you from trying to open it that way. But hey, if you're left-handed, then sky's the limit with that. It really does have a nice EDC shape to it. It's basically like a high saber grind to it. Up to that fuller, it's flat grind, and then obviously the top is just basically different flats and whatnot, so it doesn't really continue to taper up there, but you still do have that fuller on both sides, so it does a pretty darn good job at slicing. It's not brittly thin behind the edge, so maybe not an absolute slicing juggernaut, but still very middle of the road, very strong kind of design to it. And that probably also has to do with the fact that this has a 4mm blade stock thickness on there. Which, I mean, TwoSun does that on a lot. I've seen it quite a bit on a lot of Chinese manufacturers. They really like their thick steel. And I'm a little curious on that. If they're a little worried about making them thinner, being a little bit more delicate or something like that. A lot more of them that are made for the American market or something like that, even if they are Chinese made, say like this O-knife here. This one is, it's 3.2, so it's much thinner, but I'll see them between like 3.2 and 2.5 or something like that. So they're a little bit more slicey here, but I also kind of wonder if that's just more of like an American thing of, a lot of us generally here don't really look for something that's super crazy robust when all we're doing is opening boxes and mail and stuff like that. So we like the more slicey characteristics, whereas I don't know, other people over in China might have a little bit more hard use requirements going on there. All that being said, I do seriously doubt that knives like this are probably legal for you to carry on your person in China. They have some crazy laws, and they're probably even more crazy than Europe with a lot of this sort of stuff. So I don't know. I'm just rambling now, but yeah, 4mm blade stock thickness. We got like from basically the end of the handle there out to that super nice tip, but it is fairly robust. It's not gonna explode on you if you look at it wrong. It's 3.6 inches. We got 4.5 ounces. Sorry, not 4.5 ounces, or 127 grams thereabouts. And the thickness is 0.53, so it's basically right around a Spyderco paramilitary tube. Speaking of those comparisons, I might as well do that. So there it is with the paramilitary 2, and yeah, the blade's right around that same kind of size. The handle's a little bit larger on it though. Here we are with the Benchmade 940, same kind of thing, fairly similar. However, a lot of this is taller, but very similar proportions there. And then we got the big dogs here. We got the Spyderco Endura and the Rat number 1. And yeah, it's a little bit smaller than those, but these are kind of on the larger end of the spectrum of what people will EDC mostly these days. Super nice and comfortable though. I really do like the design in general. I would like it to be just a little bit longer in the handle so that it would be a little bit more comfortable for me. But hey, the TS66 exists, and that's basically all of that. So, I at least do have another choice. And hey, I already have this one, so, it's not like they lost a sale from it or anything. We can go ahead and take a look on the inside of them. Something that is nice here is the screw is attached from the inside, so that keeps it a little bit clean on there. You know, I say clean as I'm pointing out a stupid label that I've put on the darn thing. And we do have external blade lock relief there, but I suppose that makes sense because we also have these grooves on here. So there's probably not going to be a whole lot going on the inside, and I lied because there is. How about if we go ahead and take a look instead of me just postulating about it? Just got ourselves a couple of screws. I had some Loctite all up in that piece. So there we are. We got this nice long titanium back spring here, or not back spring, but back spacer, with the single Chicago screw there, and a pin also to help anchor that correctly in place. Both sides do have pockets carved out on them, quite aggressively as well. We do have the steel bearing races there that are carved out, so that helps a little bit with the action and whatnot. And you can see on this one, the steel piece itself isn't actually the lock bar overstop, but there is one, and that being this piece that I was talking about earlier. So that's kind of how that was incorporated. That kind of hits this back little wing on the titanium. So it does have a stop there, but yeah, it's just a bit different than the way that they've incorporated on most of their other knives. Which, hey, that's the kind of thing that I like to see. Just differences and strangeness and, different... I don't know. I've completely lost the point of all of that. So I'm going to just go ahead and drop it because otherwise it's going to take me a second to get back on track. We do have the reverse detent ramp sort of thing there. So that's nice. Helps that. We got an internal blade stop and knocked out one of the bearings there. That's fine. I'll pick that up in a minute. And we can see out the front here, we do have a bit of a cutout, which I'm in general not the largest fan of, but this one's not quite as egregious as a lot of them are. All right, so where did that little white thing go? Here we are. It didn't go far, thankfully. It did apparently come with a dog hair, though. Happens from time to time. Alright, so yeah, super easy for opening up for all sorts of your maintenance needs. Everybody enjoy the top of my wrist. You get to see it just about as often as I do. And we can see next to this Chicago screw that I'm screwing on right now, we do have a fairly generous lanyard hole sort of in there and through the back spacer. So it's got pretty much all of its bases covered. Like I said, the geometry on this thing is pretty darn good. I really can't find a whole lot of fault with it. I did accidentally sharpen it just a little bit more than 15 degrees, as you can see here. That was basically when I had it clamped. Didn't quite realize it, that it was kind of off kilter from, like sort of there would be the normal. And it was shifted down just a little bit, so that had a little bit more of an angle on there. I haven't really found a need to fix that. That's why you can see the angle is just a bit different, especially up here near the tip between the two sides. I haven't found a need to fix it yet, but hey, once it gets dull, then I probably will. But I'm assuming that it'll probably take quite a while because I have a whole bunch of knives and all that sort of good stuff. Yeah, here we are, the 220 Nautilus and M390, which is about the only type that you can find these days. But I suppose on the used market, there's probably going to be some that are 14C28N. Pretty nice knife. The only downside that I really see to it is just that the handle's just a little bit too short for my personal ergonomic needs, but everything else is met with, either passing to flying colors. So there we go. That's about all I really needs to say about the Nautilus here. And, well, other than that, I would probably say happy Halloween. I'll probably have another video out a little bit closer to the holiday. Probably, since it lands on Sunday this year, I'll probably have a slip joint review out for it. So I'll see y'all again then later. So, as always, appreciate y'all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo. Subscribe.